Hello, Damian here from Cloud Technology Experts. In this video, I want to walk you through the steps of installing VirtualBox, downloading an Ubuntu ISO, then creating an Ubuntu virtual machine, and installing and starting Ubuntu inside the virtual machine. So, what is VirtualBox? VirtualBox is a hypervisor which helps you to create multiple virtual machines inside your laptop. It doesn't matter which operating system you're using, be it Windows or Mac OS or Linux. VirtualBox is easy to use. It just simply helps you to create multiple VMs inside your laptop. Now that has a lot of advantages because, for example, if I'm using Mac, I have the ability to also have Windows and Linux inside my laptop. If I'm using, Windows, I can also have Mac, or I can have Linux inside my laptop as well. So these are the objectives we're going to follow for this lab, and it's all detailed here step by step, and I'm going to walk you through the steps. So lab requirement: for you to create multiple virtual machines, your laptop has to have enough capacity to handle the resources required to create those virtual machines. So I'm going to create just one VM for this lab. And for that, you need to make sure your laptop has at least 8 GB of RAM, which is this one here, and have enough space for the hard disk as well, at least 20 GB of free disk space. You also need some CPU to allocate to your virtual machines. I recommend about 40 GB about 4 gig of RAM. Just about 4 gig of RAM should be sufficient. Typically, the more the better, but 4 will make your application or your VMs to run smoothly. So make sure you have internet access, and then we're going to download VirtualBox, install it, and then we're going to download Ubuntu ISO and use it to install inside the VM. So you need to click on this link here, or just search for VirtualBox download, and that will take you to this page here. And once you come here to this VirtualBox download, you have different options for the operating system that you're using. If you're using a Windows laptop, you want to click on this one. If you're using Mac and the processor is Intel, you want to use this one. If it's a much newer Mac with Apple Silicon processor, you want to use this one. So basically, select the right one for you, okay? In my own case, for example, I can click on this because I'm using Mac, and I can click on that, and that will download it for me. But I already have it installed, so I really don't have to download it. And so this is only going to be for demo purposes alone. So once you have that downloaded, you want to download the Ubuntu ISO. And if I go back to the instructions, it also gives you, so once you go to this link, you have to select the right one to download, as I just showed it to you. Then you want to install the VirtualBox. Okay, let's do that before we download the ISO. To install the VirtualBox, you just double click it. If it's Windows, the instructions are here. And if you're using Mac, the instructions are here for you as well. Typically for Mac, you just have to go to your download. When you download it, in my own case, if I downloaded this, I'll have to click here to show me where it went to. Most likely it's going to be in your download folder. So you go to your download folder and then you double click it. So I'm going to move it though. I want to move it to my desktop to make it easier to handle. So I have it here. Okay, so I downloaded the VirtualBox and I move it to my desktop to make it easier to see. So let's go there, inside this folder. Again, most likely yours is going to be inside your download folder. So I have it here. This is my VirtualBox for Mac. If I double click it, it will tell me what to do. It's saying I should double click on this icon, which is that, double click it. and then it's going to ask me to install it. But it's telling me that VirtualBox is already installed and detected, so I don't have to do it. This is only for demo purposes. So in your own case, double click it from here, it will come up here, and then you double click it from here. That's all you have to do. And that will help you install the VirtualBox. All right, so once VirtualBox is installed, let's go back to the instructions. Basically, this is what it's saying here, the instructions that I just took you through. You go through all of that. Most likely it's going to ask you to allow this VirtualBox to be installed. It's a security feature in Mac. If you're using Mac, you already know how to do this. Otherwise, you have to research how to do it. But basically, go to your system preferences, then click on security and privacy, and then click on general. And then once you go there, you need to say allow Oracle if blocked. Okay. For example, you come here to system settings. All right. Then you go to security, privacy and security, which is here. And once you go here, typically you're going to see it to be listed somewhere here. Just go through this page here. You see it somewhere like here where it says allow accessories to connect. Okay, here it says I should allow this for this application. If you double click on VirtualBox and you want to install it, when you come here, you see just click on allow, and that will take care of the steps pretty much here. After that, VirtualBox will launch, and once the VirtualBox launch, you're going to see it appear like this. That's VirtualBox there. Okay, in my own case, I already have 2 virtual machines, as you can see here. But in your own case, it's going to be all fresh because you probably don't have any virtual machine created already. Okay, so after that, you have to download your Ubuntu ISO that you want to use. In my own case, I'm using a desktop here. And so if you go here, I'm going to make this bigger. And you go to download Ubuntu, you see that Ubuntu 24.04 LTS is here. That's the one I'm going to use. There are different other versions like this one here, but this is the one I want to use because it's the most stable one at the moment. This is going to be Ubuntu Desktop. If you wanted to do Ubuntu Server, you want to click on here, but Desktop is easier for you, and it will do the job that we intend to use it for. So just click on that, click on download here, and again, that will start the download to your laptop. In my own case, it's downloading, but I don't need that, so I already downloaded it. This will take some time because it's very large, basically. Okay, it's large, so I'm not going to download it at this point, but you must download it before you can proceed. All right, so now I have my VirtualBox installed. I have my Ubuntu ISO downloaded. So I can go back to my VirtualBox, and then let's go to the instruction, which will walk you through the steps. You say open VirtualBox and click New. So VirtualBox is here, click New. All right, so you can give it a name, you can give it any name you want, but because we're following the instructions, let's just copy that and paste it here. Leave this as default ISO. We need to select the Ubuntu ISO that we just downloaded. So click there, click on Other, and then in my own case, I have it in my desktop. So I'm going to go to Desktop, and I have my Ubuntu ISO here. So I'm going to select that Ubuntu ISO. Yours might most likely be in your download section. So under the type here, you can put Linux. You can click down here and select Ubuntu, and here also select the one that is right for your hypervisor, that is right for your processor. Most likely the default correct one will be selected, but otherwise you need to make sure you select the right one that you want to use at this point. If you click down here, you see all the different options that you have here, then select the right one. The good thing is, if it doesn't work with this one, you can always come back and select another one. But if you have some knowledge of processors and you know much about your laptop, which you bought or you're using, you should have those information already. Okay, So I'm going to go here to hardware, and I'm going to give about 4 gig of RAM to my virtual machine. So I'm going to put 4096, which is going to be 4 gig. As I did that, see, this is adjusting automatically. Okay. Again, you know, I have a lot of RAM, so I could use more, but again, 4096, which is about 4 gig, should be sufficient. Then for the CPU, I have about 20 CPUs. I don't know how many you have, but just I would say if you have enough, give it at least 4. You see the 4 is there, so give it at least 4. In the hard disk here, I want to give it at least, it is suggesting 25 gigabyte. I think that is sufficient, so let's leave it as 25. All right. So hardware is all taken care of. We've selected all the information we needed to select here. All right, so I'm going to go back here to my unattended, or where it says name and operating system. We already did that. Unattended, you see we still have that orangey sign there. So here I'm just going to give it a username. I'm going to give it my name, Damien IGBE, and then I'm going to put a password here. And I'm going to put a password here. Make sure it's the same password. Okay, so now I got all of that taken care of. Name and operating system. I'm still having that orange sign there. So let's see what is not liking about it. Okay, I think because I used that name before, it wasn't liking it. So let's use Ubuntu L. In your own case, again, use whatever name you want. But you can see now there's no orange sign, so everything looks good. I'm just going to say finish. When I say finish, now I see Ubuntu L here, and the screen is here. You see this black screen is for the operating system, and it's trying to boot. So now I have a couple of options. This one said try or install Ubuntu server. This one said Ubuntu server with true kernel, and this one said boot. So let's try the first option, which was the default. Just press enter. Now we're going to install Ubuntu. This will take us through some questions. I'm going to make it bigger. Okay, let's leave it on this screen. This might take some time, so maybe go for coffee. I might have to forward it to the front so it doesn't take all the time it needs to get itself ready, but this will take some time. So let's wait for it to do what it needs to do, install the base operating system, and at some point we need to answer some questions in terms of maybe the keyboard we're using, the time zone, and all of that. Once we finish with that, Ubuntu will get installed, and then we can now start using Ubuntu inside our laptop. So let's wait for it at this point. Okay, very good. So as you can see, Ubuntu has installed itself. It did not even ask me any question. And so let me try to log in here. Remember the username I put at some point. Now I need to put that username here, which was Damien eBay, and I need to put the password. There you go. So now I have my Ubuntu. If I tap clear, I clear my screen. So I can then say sudo su minus, and I can become root. Make sure the password is correct. And now I've logged in as a root user. Very good. So the only thing you might notice now is that it doesn't have a desktop. There is no GUI. Okay. If you want a GUI, you need to install the GUI. And ordinarily, you should be able to do that when you started doing the installation. This is sufficient. You can do whatever you want to do with this. But if you wanted to install the desktop, we can look into how to do that as well. So if you want to install the desktop, you can do apt. Let's do apt update as first of all. apt update -y, and that will update the system. Okay. Now you want to do apt install Ubuntu desktop. You want to put -y in front. So again, this might take a few minutes to install the desktop. The command is apt install Ubuntu-desktop. That is the name of the package. And you wait for it to install it. Again, like I said, for me, I'm happy to have just the CLI. That is sufficient for learning and doing anything I want to do. But if you want to make your life easier, to be able to point your mouse and click on stuff like going to the internet, then that is when you want to install the desktop. So let's wait for it, and hopefully by the time we come back, this should be fully functional and we have Ubuntu virtual machine that we can use. If you want to install any other Linux distro, if you want to install something like Fedora or CentOS or whatever, you can go ahead and download the ISO and go through the same steps we just went through, and that will also help you to install the operating system or the Linux distro that you want to install. All right, very good. So our Ubuntu desktop has been installed. If I want, I can do start X or I can reboot. I will advise you to reboot. Let me reboot. So I'm going to reboot. Just type reboot, and that should reboot our Ubuntu. Okay, so now you can see the beautiful Ubuntu I have. Now it has a desktop, and now I can put the password that I have. Once I put the password, and the password is correct, it will log me into Ubuntu. Very good. So if I want, I can make it bigger. Let's switch and see. All right, so now I have my Ubuntu, which is fully functioning. If you want, you can click on that, or you can say skip it. Okay, you can say no, don't show data. It's up to you. Do next, finish, and now I have my Ubuntu. If you notice, at the moment, even though I did a full screen, my Ubuntu is not actually taking all the space available here. These are more like customizations we need to do. You need to do something we call the guest additions. So for that, it's optional, of course, but if you click on guest additions and insert guest addition, see the image, you do that. Then you want to come into the server itself and do a search for the shell. Okay, you can type terminal and then click on that. Okay, and this is asking me to install update. As a matter of fact, you want to do that right now, but it's not an option or it's not urgent. So let me say remind me later. Okay, so now I can do mount. Let me do ls media. Okay, I'm not sure why it's making that noise. Okay, at least I stopped it for now. So when I mounted that CD, now I have it inside here called VirtualBox. So let me go into VirtualBox, and I have all this information here. These are the guest drivers. All right. Now I show you, I'm going to minimize it. And if we go back to the instructions, we have done all of these, and now we're going to, this is where we are at the moment. We did all of this. We installed Ubuntu. We went all of that. Now this is where we are, step 7, install guest additions. Okay, in the guest additions, basically, I mounted a CD, and then we're going to run this command install. We're going to do the update, and then we're going to run this command. So let me see if I can copy and paste these commands. So I come here, and my Ubuntu is here. So my Ubuntu is here. Let me minimize this one here. I can say sudo apt update -y, and let sudo put the password, and now that will do that. Okay, so now I'm going to run this command, but I don't think I will be able to copy and paste this command. Let's see. Yeah, I won't be able to copy and paste this command, though I can check my IP address, and I'll try to go in from my laptop, though I won't be able to do that either from my laptop. So it means that I may not be able to run these commands at the moment, or I can do a trick. I can try to type them one by one, but I'm kind of lazy in doing that, in the sense that I could easily make a mistake. Okay, but okay, basically there are different ways I can do this. Let me just email this to myself. That may be the easier option. So I'm going to basically wait for me to email this to myself, okay, so that I can access them inside my VirtualBox. That is one easy way I can do it. There are typically a lot of things you can do to get things done. I can do it another way, but if you're not technical, that may not be that easy for you to do. So emailing it to yourself, if you're not technical, might be a good option. Okay, I sent it to myself on my email, so I'm going to go here. I'm going to open up my browser inside here and access my Gmail. Okay, this is inside my Ubuntu, remember? This is inside my Ubuntu. I'm going to sign in to Okay, so I use this editor here called Vim to copy it, but I can also use Nano. And with Nano, I can also paste them here if I want to use Nano. But in any case, at this point, I have my file here. So if I cut it, GA cut home, GA. Okay, let me go to my home so it's easier. So that file is here called GA, and as a matter of fact, I can do chmod +x GA, and I can run the script. I can do GA. Okay, so that will basically install. Say yes. Okay, so everything is seems to have installed now. So VirtualBox guest addition installer detected unsupported ARM machine type. Okay, it said detected unsupported ARM machine type. So it might not work. The full screen may not work, but ordinarily, once you do that, now you should be able to switch to a full screen, and the desktop will fill your entire screen. All right, so I'm going to leave it at that. I will try to reboot. Let's reboot and see what happens. If we reboot, maybe it will switch over, but if it doesn't, remember this option is optional. Don't worry about it. Your Ubuntu is fully functioning. The only thing is that you may not be able to see your the full screen whenever you go to VirtualBox or whenever you go to Ubuntu. Okay, so now we have rebooted and you can see Ubuntu screen here. Let me log in and let's see if we can switch on to the biggest screen. All right, so I log in now, and if I try to make that bigger, enter full screen, you see that it still hasn't occupied the whole of my screen. So we installed the VirtualBox guest additions, which is what you normally do to make this happen. But as you saw earlier, it complained that it didn't support my hypervisor, it didn't support my processor, and so it's not working as expected. But this is optional. You can use Ubuntu now, as you want to. If you type terminal, now you have your terminal. You can type your commands here, do whatever you want to do. And if you want to go to the internet, you can click on your browser and do whatever you want to do. All right, if you got this far, congratulations. You have a full functioning VirtualBox. You also have a VM running Ubuntu server. Ubuntu desktop. You can always come to the smaller screen here and then make it smaller. Okay, let me go make it smaller. And if I come here to VirtualBox, I now have my Ubuntu L running. And if you're done with what you want to do, you can shut it down from here. Just come here to make sure it's selected. And then you can go from here, or you can go from the menu here. Just go there and try to go to the stop, and I can say power off. I can either do it from here, or I can go here and do sudo and say sudo init 0, which is going to shut down the server. Let me put the password. Okay, that's it. I hope this video was useful in helping you to create your virtual machines on VirtualBox so you can play with any operating system you want to play with. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you soon in another video.